很美的那山，你看那个寺庙很壮观哦。
Ning Binh was an itinerary which we decided to squeeze in at the last minute. As we only had 7 nights for our entire Hanoi trip, time is really a constraint.
OK， 停。
Our overnight cruise at Halong Bay ended around 11:30 AM. Having only one night to spare, our main consideration was whether it makes sense to travel to Ning Binh, which will take around 3 hours from Halong Bay, and the next day spending another 2 hours to travel back to Hanoi. Well, we did go ahead with it, and this was one of the best decisions we make. In this video, I will explain how we make every minute count in Ning Binh in less than 24 hours. Let's be realistic. If there are more time to spare, there are many ways to explore Ning Binh. But with limited time yet still want to get things done right, we did spend a bit of money to engage a local guide to help us. But I assure you that the cost is very reasonable.
In the middle.
After some research and communicated with some group tour operators, we decided to go ahead with private guide, which was pretty much the only avenue to cater to our situation, as this is the only way we can customize the whole program and timing towards our needs. And their suggested itinerary was very comprehensive, covering almost everything even we only have less than 24 hours there. Basically, we only wanted to do Chang'an boat tour and climb the Lying Dragon Mountain. But under our guide's recommendation, we also visited Hua Lu ancient capital on the first day.
Min temple.
This ancient capital has a history of around 1,000 years. In a way, it was nice to have a local guide to explain the history to us when visiting such historical site.
You go in, after go out, I explain his story. Ning Dynasty. Okay. Dragon, back for king.
King， 这是 King。
His bed not the one that he has his meeting, he sit there. Okay.
No， 不是，是 bed 来的。所以
This ancient capital was intentionally built within the limestone formation, which created a virtually impenetrable barrier, making the capital difficult to attack. Next, Chang'an boat tour, also the last activity of the day. There are actually 2 famous boat tours in Ning Binh, Chang'an or Tam Kok. You can always do both if you had the time. We chose Chang'an boat tour as most people had suggested.
In the cave, head down, you looking up. In the cave very low.
Okay.
Head down, you looking up.
The sun was almost setting, which make it a perfect timing for this boat ride. It can be scorching hot during the day. Also, we are quite lucky as there are not many boats during our ride, and this boat ride can get very crowded and rowdy. There are 3 routes to choose from. We picked Route C as it was highly recommended by most people.
这是 1 kilometer 哈。OK， 头，下大湾，下大湾，下大湾，下大湾。有鸟在旁边，你看。你不懂，我跟你讲了，在你旁边。哇，老哎，简直就是仙境啊！那边有个没有。那个 ice cream 嗯？我觉得很美耶，那山，你看那个寺庙很壮观哦。那怎么样？要玩那个玩？姐先不上去，他讲要看他。 不要啦，it's okay 啦。
After the boat tour, our guide sent us back to our accommodation, which was separately booked by ourselves. We were pleasantly surprised by how nice our accommodation was. It had exceeded our expectation, as we picked the cheapest family room available around this area.
Thank you.
Our guide did suggest us to visit Haulu Ancient Town, which is beautifully illuminated every evening, and there's also a night market there. But we decided to give it a miss as we plan to climb Hang Mo Viewpoint, aka the Lying Dragon Mountain, first thing in the morning.
Basic.
你们去拍照啊？
哎呀，讲的 breakfast is not ready.
Go. Yeah, only one activity.
The Lying Dragon Mountain is within the Moa Caves compound, which require entrance fee. It includes other areas to explore, such as the Lotus Pond.
Mountain look like same Phoenix.
Oh,
One
Phoenix,
have-
Phoenix Mountain,
one
correct.
have and two wing.
有没有看到 Phoenix Mountain？
The 13th century, King Chen visit in the cave looking beautiful woman dancing.
Okay.
After con dancing cave.
Dancing cave.
How long is this walk?
About 200 meter long.
Oh, 200 meter.
20 meter wide.
Stay where?
Dragon.
You stand here.
Okay.
One step.
辛苦了。
The climb to the mountain can get really crowded, and that's the reason why we chose to come here first thing in the morning.
Take my umbrella. You want my umbrella?
这个什么叫 toughness？这些就是 toughness。看人家，这拍很壮观，你看真的。
Wow. Very good camera.
一定要早上来才会遇见。
Hello, Singapore.
Lying Dragon Mountains was pretty much the only activity we did on the second day. Though the guide had offered a few more places to visit, but we decided to go back to our hotel to relax before heading back to Hanoi. I think making every minute of our time count during traveling does not always equate to seeing as many places as possible. More importantly is to be able to slow down to feel the vibe of a place and spending quality times with family. Ning Binh is definitely a place we will highly recommend. In fact, we like it much more than Halong Bay. I think 3 days 2 nights will be a good duration if you would like to explore more places. And most accommodation provide bicycle rental, which I think is a good form of transport to most places of interest. And there are also lots of nice cafes and restaurants within the remarkable limestone formation to be explored as well.
哇，很美哦。燕哦 ，sparrow 啊。
Okay, you enjoy. After you have money, you go to Hanoi.
Thank you.